Michael Blau. I recently realized something interesting about LRH's communications, including written and spoken in all forms. Lectures, bulletins, policy letters, and even in his fiction. The man comes across as a prude. Reports from people who had personal communications with him paint a picture of his frequent use of extreme profanity. But as a student and reader of his fiction, I saw none of that. From Battlefield Earth and even Mission Earth, the most extreme expression was diseased crap. The words damn and hell seemed to live at the boundaries of his profanity. Not even as shit to break the monotony. How do you explain that? Or am I missing something? Thanks, Mike. Okay, well, first off, lots of things here. First off, one, Hubbard came up in the pulp fiction era of the 1920s and 30s. They were not, as far as I know, swearing up a storm in those pulp mags because there were kids reading them. So I think they had some kind of general guidelines on the language that they used. I could be wrong about that, but certainly Hubbard's fiction from that time forward and many, many other authors that I know of who came out of the golden age of science fiction were not writing Quentin Tarantino screenplays, right? Laced with tons of profanity and even tons of off-color references and violence and things like that. That all being said, Hubbard actually had a pretty dirty mind, and he didn't mind throwing it around, right? He, for example, in the Mission Earth series, I remember sex scenes. There were BDSM was portrayed in the Mission Earth series. There was this crazy lady who takes a cheese grater to Sultan Grace, right? And there's a sex scene between Heller and Countess Crack. Now, it's all behind closed doors, so you're just hearing it, but it's not, Hubbard was not writing in a prudish style, I don't think, and putting that kind of stuff together. But the language he used, he set it all up so that there were a lot of bleeps. Remember that? All through the Mission Earth series? All the bleeps being that the robot who translated all of Sultan Grease's notes and manuscripts from his prison cell, he was lacing them with profanity, and people were talking profanely, but they were always bleeped out, right? So, I think that's just a reflection of the times that Hubbard grew up in and came up as a professional writer in. And I just don't think he thought that it was necessary for his storytelling process. I don't really know a whole lot about what Hubbard thought about his storytelling process because I'm pretty critical of his writing. But on this count, it's pretty understandable. And no, Hubbard was not a prude. The man could absolutely swear like a sailor. He actually bragged about it. And also, I remember one woman who had gone and done the L rundowns, or one of the L rundowns at Flag, and she said that there was a specific rundown having to do with the second dynamic, which has to do with sex and family. And she said that this assessment got done on her that apparently was an LRH assessment. I don't know, because we don't really have the full L materials for all those rundowns leaked out of the church. We just have what's written down from people's memories. But she said that Hubbard knew terms that she had never heard of. All the ones she did know and new ones that she'd never heard of before were being checked out as part of the auditing process. So I don't think Hubbard was exactly ignorant, and I don't think your question implies that he was, but I'm just saying I don't think he was a prude. I don't think that was a word that I would use to describe L. Ron Hubbard.